interject there, and I'll pitch this question to all of us. You know, throughout history, there has been really like life-altering events that happen. So, for example, the Great Depression, you know, world wars and such. And I think COVID-19 is another one of those events where it alters human behavior.
It truly does.
So now it has normalized masks. So I just want to get your guys' opinion on that. It's like, you know, what's the future gonna look like in like the next couple years? You know, anything else gonna get normalized that wasn't before?
Yeah. I mean, first off, with the whole rule about wearing your mask, that is one thing that we all had to really adjust to at the beginning of COVID. You know, a lot of people would forget their mask, and now everybody leaves their house with a mask. And the concept of social distancing, being 6 feet apart, was also another rule that was implemented throughout the past couple months. And it has become the new normal. And I see it, just happening throughout however long it will be. And David, what's your take on this, and how has all these changes throughout COVID affected you and your lifestyle moving forward?
You know, the one thing about COVID that really challenged me was the whole stay-at-home lockdown. I don't like staying at home. I never particularly enjoyed it because I'm an extrovert. I enjoyed being able to go outside, and being able to stay inside for a long amount of time really did mess with my mental health in a bit. I was depressed for a while because I felt as though I just couldn't do anything at that point. And I said, well, man, since I can't be able to do anything, then what's the point of being able to just even try? Since I can't go inside, see my friends. And even though for a fact I did call up people, text people, and be able to do Zoom calls like this, it never can be able to replace the real feeling of actually meeting a person or friends or somebody face to face, because exactly it has like a different dynamic. It has a different relationship. So honestly, the biggest struggle that I had with COVID was to go with the flow, not think too much about it, and try to be able to find ways to manage my mental health and emotional health pretty well. Because you know, some days it'll be slow, but you know, I had to be able to find some alternative ways to keep myself occupied.
I think we discussed, you know, one thing we picked up during COVID, you know, to help, you know, combat against the mental health stuff and being lonely and whatever, because we have all this time at home by ourselves, and we have all this time to work on other stuff. And I'll just throw it back up there, you know, and if you picked up anything new lately, or David, you picked up anything, but for myself, spending a lot of time thinking about, you know, this whole situation and doing some deep self-reflection on, you know, a lot of people are complaining about, and rightfully so, complaining about how 2020 is taking away some of the best times of their life and taking them away from like weddings and, you know, birthday parties and just out there having fun with their friends. But for myself, it was more of a, okay, you know, 2020 has been pretty rough, but how can I make the best of it? How can I set myself up for future successes? You know, what good habits can I start building now? And one of those mental, I guess I would say, cleansing for myself was to accept that some things, like you said, David, you know, sometimes you gotta let it flow by. Like, instead of fighting it so much, like, oh, this sucks, you know, like everyone's going through it and I don't know what to do. Just let it, embrace it, you know, and just, you know, all the bad times are gonna roll by, but like all things, it's gonna subside, you know, and just being okay with that. No, being okay with just being by myself, being okay with just knowing the fact that things are gonna change forever, you know, at work, you know, with friends and such, and that's okay. The only thing I can control is how I react to those things. You know, like if someone makes you really mad, like someone cuts you off, you know, on the road, there's a couple things you can do. You can like honk, you can roll down the window, flip them off, yell at them, but is that going to change the situation?
It is not.
Not really. It's just going to make you more emotional, and you're going to expend more emotional energy. Instead, you can be like, it's cool, whatever's happened. At least I didn't get into an accident.
Yeah.
Now I would waste more time. Now my insurance goes up, all because I lost control temporarily.
Yeah, I think over the past couple months, we really were put to the test on how we deal with all these challenges occurring, just physically being apart, mentally just being unstable at times. And it is something that we really needed to adjust and find solutions to. And I guess back in our first couple of episodes, we were talking about mental health and how the whole COVID situation really affected our mental health and what is our solution to that. So, there's working parents, there's college students, there's just a wide range of demographics that and ultimately everybody has their own challenges and schedule throughout the day. So basically, for each of us, we really had to find our own new lifestyle, you could say. I know for me, picking up different hobbies, new hobbies like cooking, for example, that was one thing, I could easily do at home. Along the way, I found myself learning a lot more about my own culture, which I haven't knew about for a while.
Do you want to share an interesting fact?
Yeah, so I guess based off of my experience with cooking and trying different foods, I decided to start my own food blog called Come Eat Hawaii. And, I've seen it grow since the beginning of COVID, and not just in followers and all that, but more so just my connection with the foods we have here in Hawaii and also my culture. So it is a hobby that turned into a passion, and hopefully later on turns into something that will inspire other people. So
monetize from it.
Because so David, how about you? How has any new hobbies you picked up, and how have you dealt with your mental health over the course of this pandemic that we're currently dealing with?
Oh, that's a lot to unpack. Where should I start off? I think the one hobby that I've been doing is that I've been listening to Audible and reading, and I'm not a good reader. I daydream easily whenever I read books, but lately I said I'm gonna be inside. I have a lot of time, and so I've been listening to Audible, and I finished a couple of books. That's one major thing too, and I've learned a lot from those books too. Journaling has been another hobby that I've been doing recently, primarily because of the fact that since I needed a way to be able to express, I needed an outlet because I had a lot of things going through my mind, and so for me to be able to release it, one of the best ways I found was just to be able to pick up a pen, write it down, write how I feel, and be expunged from my thoughts. Another thing that I would do is that I would just do home workouts. They wouldn't be too intense, but it'd be enough for me to be able to at least get my heart going and make me sweat for a bit.
What do you do for your home workout?
At the same time, I just try to find. So what I do is that I do push-ups. I use push-up bars, and then I have a dip machine. I do dips, push-ups, dips, and then I do not pull-ups. Forgot what they're called. They're rows. So essentially, I just have to rows to do my back muscles, and then I have about 15-pound dumbbells, and I do curls to shoulder raises. That way, I can at least be able to focus on every muscle group, and a little bit of squats. And I'm not a huge fan of legs, but I still do it here and there just to keep myself in shape. But those all things like that, it just got me to adapt and adapt the situation that I was in, and gave me a no excuse approach because I was, I'm at home. I'm like, okay, I absolutely have no excuse. I can do this. I can do that. Since I'm going to be up the entire day, I can spend an hour on this, an hour on that. And that's pretty much what it came down to.
I know over the past couple months, everybody really had to get creative with their own lifestyle. Um, for example, working out at home, because here in Hawaii, the gyms were closed, and for everybody to hear that, it was very shocking because they're not used to um, working out at home as much as at the gym. So um, props to you for being creative on your workout routines and trying your best to stay at home to fight this pandemic that we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm. So take from Kenny about being creative. He uses suitcases, but the results, they do show. So he is a lot leaner. He is a lot leaner.
Everybody looks good, and
Kenny, you got real lean. Like I saw your muscles.
It's all about that keto diet as well. So
I'm super lean. I'm like,
cooking
bro.
really helped out with just knowing what I put into my body, and just supporting local and like buying local vegetables, and just trying my best to keep that consistent lifestyle as everybody here is trying to do.
On that topic, we should really find a day or date to like really work out together. It'll be fun, like we can put us through the.
That'd be challenging.
Yeah, so it's like a way to bond.
Yeah. So, I mean, aside from like eating dinner and all that, working out is a different activity that we all can participate and also have fun in, and
it's free.
It's free.
It's free.
And we all need some fresh air as well.
We should get a mat. Exactly. I was thinking we should get a mat. I got my no-gi shorts and my rash guard.
David wants to do a little jiu-jitsu.
Oh.
We're gonna roll right now.
Right.